Do not fill out the W-4 before watching this video. And I'm going to give you a few reasons. And stick around to the end because I want to give you a way to do it the right way so you can maximize your benefits from the W-4 if you choose to do so. But do not fill it out before watching this video in completion. What up? You got Mr. Smith, 0.5 of Mr. and Mrs. Smith. And in this brief video, I want to talk to you about why you may not want to fill out the W-4. And I know that's kind of ironic because we've been talking about the W-4 for years. We've had videos to go viral. My wife even has a video going viral at this present moment just pertaining to educating people about the W-4. Now, I had to record this video because a lot of people are jumping on the idea of correcting the W-4, getting a pay raise and all of those things to bring in more money. However, I want you to understand the truth of the W-4 so you can maximize the benefits of it because it's a strategy. A lot of people are just jumping on it as a way to just hack some extra money. Now, I get it. And I understand why you may want to do it, especially in these present times. However, I do want you to understand one thing, and this is one of the reasons why you may not want to fill out the W-4. The W-4 does affect or have an effect on your upcoming income tax filing. Just know that it has an effect. Now, the effect can be controlled. And if you understand the effects, then you're willing to accept the effects that have taken place. But what do I mean by it affects your upcoming income tax filing? Well, if you get the W-4 pay raise by adjusting it and it reflects that you'll be getting more money back, then there's less money being paid out in taxes. And if less money is being paid out in taxes, it may lower your refund. However, for many people, they overpay in taxes. And if you overpay in taxes, then it makes sense for you to get that money back into your pockets and do something good with it. However, it may still lower your income tax. Now, if you're a person who loves the idea of getting a lump sum at the beginning of the year, the end of the year, whenever they pay it out, then that may be something for you to consider. You might want to do a hybrid model or mix it up and get some of the money throughout the year and then, set yourself up to get a refund. Another thing you may want to consider is what I'm going to say at the end, because at the end is going to show you how to not only get more money back into your household, but possibly get a larger refund or at least a balanced refund and just position yourself to not have to owe. Because at the end of the day, that's what most people don't want to do. They don't want to owe. Now, another reason why you may not want to fill out the W-4 is if you don't have a plan for the money with the W-4, that the increase that you may get, or if you're not disciplined, because if you get that extra money and it just creates another bill that you now have to pay. Say you get in $300 and you get a car. And now that $300 that once was going towards paying in on the tax side, now went towards you acquiring a liability because a car is not an asset. So now you have a $250 monthly payment plus insurance, plus, all the other things associated with it. So now you really took a loss when it felt like a gain because you were able to get a new car. That's not what the W-4 is about. And that's just one example. There are several other examples of where people may take that extra money and do something with, and it requires a new bill. But now you don't have that cash flow that you didn't even know you could get access to in the first place. So you created some new cash flow. And instead of you taking that cash flow and doing some great things with it, which I'm going to tell you how to do on the end of the video, you've acquired a new bill. And now you're so attached or stuck in that position, you have to keep that W-4 how it is, because if you don't, now you find yourself in a predicament due to the fact that that new bill is costing you more than you were bringing in the first place. So don't do it if you don't have discipline or you're just about to splurge or acquire a new bill or a liability. Don't do it if that's what you plan to do. And I know a lot of people have watched our W-4 video, whether you've seen a short clip, whether you've seen a full video. And I know you've probably adjusted the W-4 just for the sake of getting the extra money. And if you're new to our channel and you're just now watching this video and you haven't adjusted your W-4, then we know that there are people who have just watched the video and say, okay, boom, I just got to plug in these numbers and now I get that increase. We don't want to lead you astray. We want to make sure that you understand that the W-4 is a tool to use and use strategically so you can hit your financial goals sooner. That's the sole purpose of us teaching about the W-4. I can't speak for everyone else, but that's the sole purpose of us preaching and teaching about the W-4. Why is that important? Because for many people, if they had an extra $300, $500, $800, or $1,000 coming in, that can position them to retire early. That can position them to become debt free at a rapid pace. That can position them to build an investment portfolio. That can position them to have some level of freedom due to the fact that this extra money was going out, but now it's coming in. In addition to that, in many cases, they say that studies or statistics show that an extra $300 a month in many cases can prevent a family from having to file bankrupt. So it's power in that tool when utilized correctly, which brings me to my last point of why you may not want to fill out the W-4. You see, the W-4 is a wealth tool. We've coined it as that. So I like to call it a wealth form, not just a tax form. It's a wealth form because you can take that extra money and build wealth. And I know wealth may not sound sexy. I know it doesn't look as good or sound as good as you getting a new car, taking a trip. However, you can do all of those things simultaneously if you at least have a strategy for a portion of the money that you bring in. Now, the strategy that we offer in order to teach you how to fill out the W-4 properly and have a blueprint so you can have a debt freedom date, an early retirement date, start investing for the first time or enhance your investments if you're already an investor. And if you want to create another stream of income from it, you can do that as well. So now you're positioning yourself to not only be better in your finances, but making money, which not only puts more money in your pocket, but also helps you take advantage of the tax liabilities that come from having a home-based business. Now, if you were tuned in earlier and you heard me say that it's a way that you could possibly increase your take-home pay and still get a higher tax refund or at least break even. It's all about having a home-based business. Why? Because if you have tax deductions, yeah, you may have got your W-4 corrected and you're bringing in some money which might have lowered your tax, your tax or your income tax. However, when you have tax liabilities, things that you're able to write off by being an owner of a home-based business, you just pretty much wipe that out. In other words, yeah, you might have lowered your income tax, but now that you have these tax deductions increased your income tax. It's almost like you carrying kids. I know you may be familiar with the idea of carrying kids on your tax refund in order to get a higher tax refund, your own kids, because many people go from not having kids to having kids, and then they end up getting a higher refund because they have kids, to the point where some people have fraudulently carried other people's kids. That's not what I'm talking about, but you see the power in having something else that helps you get a larger tax refund or qualify for some type of earned income credit. The same is true / similar as it relates to you having a home-based business. It's almost like your business is your baby. You're able to file that on your taxes in the form of tax deductions. And now you're able to heighten what you get back by lowering your tax liability. It goes hand in hand, and the W-4 opens up the door to be able to do all of those things. So the W-4 strategy not only puts more money in your pocket, but it helps you get out of debt faster. It helps you build wealth through learning investments. It gives you a retirement or early retirement way or strategy or goal to shoot for, and the cash flow to be able to bring it to life in a more rapid pace. It helps you boost your credit because now that you have this new cash flow, when used correctly in the way that we teach and instruct, you're able to better your credit in the process. Plus, if you get access to the membership that includes all of the things that I'm talking about, such as better using a W-4 to get out of debt, start investing, early retirement, better your credit, build wealth. If you get access to the membership, which is the link is available below, guess what? Now you're able to use the W-4 to hit all of your goals financially, not just put some extra money in your pocket and do something with it that's not going to move you forward financially. So those are some reasons why you shouldn't fill out the W-4, but I highly encourage that you consider it. But if you do, only consider it with the membership. In other words, if you don't have the membership that I'm referring to that shows you how to do things strategically, then you might not want to touch the W-4. You want to have something that helps systematically use that money to build wealth and help you hit your financial goals. Hopefully this video was helpful, not to deter you from the W-4, but to deter you from taking the W-4 cash flow that could have went to building wealth, but instead you created more liabilities. Trust me, we know that happens. Mr. Smith signing out. Click the available link below. Get access to the membership ASAP so you can take that W4 and build wealth. Check out one of our videos where I talked about W4 to wealth and W4 to millionaire. I may link it here, on this screen, but nonetheless, take full advantage of the W4 and get access to the membership now. Very inexpensive. It pays for itself. Do your due diligence. Salute.